Alright guys, so I am excited and nervous about sharing this with you. This is something that I have been working on for a while now, and I am so glad to finally have something to kind of show you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So the thing that I want to show you is that I have been working on surface patterns. Now, I know some of you may not know what the term surface pattern is, but basically it's just any type of design that you can put down onto many different types of surfaces. And the surfaces that I have chose is fabric. This is kind of like a starting off point for me because I do a lot of sewing. I wanted to have a bunch of designs that I could share with you guys. Now, these designs are specifically kind of Halloween themed or spooky themed. And I wanted to do this because I was finding a lot of issues with finding fabrics that I liked. For one, going over to one of my favorite stores is Joann. They mainly have a bunch of different or kind of cool looking cotton fabrics, but I wanted to bring designs to other fabrics as well, and I was having a hard time finding the designs that I like in a knit fabric or something other than like the quilting cotton that they have. So when I went to other stores, they didn't really have much as an option as far as just like even spooky fabric in general. So I remembered going to Spoonflower, looking there for just like buying fabrics for myself to make things, but I never really thought about designing. And I had came across some type of profile where they were actually designing the fabric themselves and using it for their projects. And I wanted to kind of get into that as well. So I decided to come up with a few designs, and I started off kind of easy and then wanted to work my way to some harder stuff. So I've gotten a few designs on there and I have put them in a few different colors. I will be going back in there and giving them different sizes. That way you can use them on really small projects to like really big projects. And I hope you guys like this. I am so excited to kind of show you all of the designs that I've come up with, and I hope you guys like them. So because I'm using Spoonflower, you get so many options of fabrics you can put things on, and you can also get things that are already pre-made. With this, you can get pillowcases, curtains, you can get pillow covers for your couch, and throw blankets. There's so many things to choose from, and I wanted to show you a little bit of the website and the products that I have. All right, so I have gone ahead and got a couple of samples of my at least very first design that I uploaded on there, and I wanted to show you a little bit of what I have and the options that they have for that fabric. So this first one I have is a sample of their cotton fabric. This is their cotton spandex jersey, and I am a knit person, so I wanted to get a sample of this, and I think the print came out really well on there. Of course, this is just the first sizing that I have added on there, and I will be doing more. That way you can use it with smaller items that you make or larger items if you want to do something like wallpaper your wall that looks like this. I have one of their cotton poplins, which is in this pink version of the design, and then I have their petal signature cotton in this black and purple design, and I think these samples came out really well. I am ready to like just buy some fabric and make some things. I haven't gotten around to that yet, but I have been adding so many designs and I want to show you guys, and I'll do that a little bit later on. But I wanted to talk a little more about why I decided to go with Halloween. Now, if you've watched my videos for a while, Halloween is where I get the most excited, and I have been growing with learning all the things that I can about DIYing projects and just things I want to add into my Halloween, just decorating in general. Now, I have been also wanting to add some like Halloween clothing in there as well. I am just like super excited about just taking these prints and then just sprinkling it everywhere in my house. I am super excited for some of these designs to be put on my bed, which to me is just crazy to think about, to have something I created on my bed in a physical like form. And like it takes, you know, sewing to this whole nother level to not only be able to say that not only did I make this garment, but I also created the design that's on the fabric itself. And I think this is just something that's really exciting me, and I can't wait to just like share it with you guys. But so Halloween is just like one of those things that I never really knew was going to be so big to me, but as time has gone by, I've just grown and grown, and I just love the way you can just express yourself in so many different ways, and there's so many different styles, but everything has like a spooky theme to it. And you can be into like super horror stuff, or you can be into more cutesy stuff like Nightmare Before Christmas, or be into stuff like Halloween or The Nun or stuff like that. And I just love how there's so much of a variety of things you can do. You can be really cutesy, you can be whimsical, you can be very retro or vintage, and it's just everybody is so accepting of whatever it is you like. Now, of course, you'll have a bunch of people just battling which one is the best, but it's always up to your personal taste. And I hope that my designs can bring some of that like excitement for Halloween like it does for me. And all of the designs I've done so far, I'm trying to bring in those spooky elements, but also make it subtle enough where you can have it like year round. I am a person that has adopted the spooky all year round mantra, I guess. And I'm excited to be able to share it with you guys. And I hope that you guys, or I hope that you enjoy it just as much as I do. Oh my God, it's so hard talking about this. But like, I'm excited to just have this out there. Whether nobody buys it and it's just me buying it, I'm happy to have this just out in the world. But of course, I want to share it with you guys that hopefully you might find something you like, or even inspire me to create something else different and just as important to you as it is to me. So let's get to my computer so you can see the designs that I have. I'm nervous. So whatever it is. Okay. All right, we can do this. I can show you. So I am bringing you onto my Spoonflower shop, and this is what it looks like. I've gone in and added some pictures in here, and these are the designs that I have so far. Now, these first 3 designs are actually just colors to go along with other patterns that I have. So right now I have this Scorched Soul that I have just recently added up. Like I added it up in like the last couple of days, and I decided that I wanted to also add in the color, so that way if you want to add that accent color or just like a solid color that matches it, you can do that. So these are the first ones I've done that for. I have another design that I'm working on that I will be doing that in probably the next month. So I wanted to give you an idea of what I have going on here. Now, these are all of the designs that I have added so far, and most of them come in at least 3 colors. I have a couple, or I have one that only comes in 2, or actually I have 2 of them that only come in 2 colors. And then I have some that come in 4. So with this design, it's a little bit inspired by the new Beetlejuice. A lot of the colors just reminded me of that. And then having the stripes. Granted, this is a completely different design, but it does have some of those elements that Beetlejuice has into it. So it has like the colors and everything, and I just think this is such a great option. And I like that Spoonflower does these mock-ups so you can kind of see what these designs will look like onto the fabric or anything else. And at the bottom, it gives you more options of things you can put them on. So you have like wallpaper, you have a Euro pillow sham, a round tablecloth, a rectangle tablecloth. You can even put this on a tea towel. You have a lot of different options of things you can put this on. So I love the fact that you have those mock-ups where you can see an idea of what it's going to look like on the fabric. Now I am excited once I actually start buying the fabric so you guys can actually see what these designs look like. So let's go back and let me show you one of my other designs. Now this is my design called Slasher Stripes, and this is in the color Frostbitten, and I had so much fun with this one. This one, I've done a short on this where I show a little bit of the designing process with this one, and this was a fun one for me because I don't normally go for like the really scary movies and stuff, so I had fun just drawing this knife and then adding the blood on there, and I think it really looks like really cute, and it also just brings this fun and whimsical idea out into the fabric. And I just love seeing them on pillows. Like all of the designs I've made so far, I love seeing them on like the pillows or the blankets, but mainly like the pillows, because tell me you wouldn't want to have this on your couch, please. Please tell me you wouldn't want to have this on your couch. Like, I absolutely would buy this in just about every fabric they have. And the great thing about this site, they have outdoor fabric as well. And you can make this for your outdoor furniture. Like, you could have a little throw pillow or make some cushions out of this fabric. Like, how amazing would that be to have these little knives just like splattered all over your outdoor furniture? All right, so one of my next designs, I'll just go with any color, but this is one of my ghost designs, and this one was one of the first ones I designed, and it just has this like whimsical cutesy look, and I just love the colors that I use from there. Now when it comes to like picking out colors for these designs, I relied heavily on Pinterest with their color combinations to get things that will look well together and look like they could be interchanged with each other. So I like that these had more of a dusty kind of color. I think these will work really well for either the fall or spring. I feel like the colors are just pale enough and vibrant enough that they could work for either season. So I like this, and then just seeing the different options. Like you can see that like this would look really nice. Like can you tell me that you wouldn't want to have this on a duvet cover for your bed, especially for Halloween? And I feel like this design is subtle enough that you can actually use it for other than Halloween, because there's so many people who just love those sheet ghosts, and I think that this design could work just anytime. It's just a matter of finding the color you want, which I love. One thing I love about this is that I can add colors as I want to, and you have the option to pick through those colors. And I like that they've added this feature right here where you can actually see the different colors that or different options that they are available in. All right, let's go to the next design, which this one right now is one of my favorites, and I love it in every color that I have decided to put it in so far. I have it in this navy color. I also have it in like an orange color, a red color, and then a gray color. The one that's really sticking out to me is this color here, which I have named Curse Mahogany. And I love this color because I love those like burnt orange colors, and I always gravitate to that during the fall. Um, you can kind of see with this, it has a little bit of that tone, even though this is more of a yellow. It's just one stage off. I love burnt orange and then that mustard yellow. Those are my favorite, which I probably should add that as a design color. But this one, I did two different types of spiders, and I did it so that it's a pinstripe, and I love pinstripes. I have a pair of pants that I made in another video that I honestly, as soon as I wash them, I put them back on. They're so comfortable, and I love the design, and that fabric inspired me to make this design because I want to be able to have those spiders on there. One thing I do kind of wish I could do was spread out the spiders a little more, but there was some restraints on the drawing that I could do of how much I could space it out. But I did the best I can, and I think that this looks really good. So I would love to see this like in a pair of pants. This is probably going to be my first project on making a pair of pants using this fabric. And this is where I got the idea to also add the solid colors in there, because I want to do a pair of pants that are half and half, where it's the solid color on one leg and then the other leg will have this design on there. And I saw a picture either on TikTok or in Pinterest, and I was just like, oh my god, that would be so perfect in this design. So I am getting together like samples so that I know which fabric I want to use, and I'm going to show you a little bit of that process so that you can see how you would actually choose a fabric. So let's go on to the next design that I have. Okay, so this next design is an interesting one for me because I wanted to go with something that had a little more detail, and I wanted to have a scythe. Now, when I was initially doing this design, I was doing so many different configurations, and I was trying to figure out the background, but I wasn't really liking anything until I made them cross the way they are here. And then I felt like it just needed something else in there. So then I created this crow skull, and I feel like it just added that extra something that gave this design just a little more than what it had before. And I really like this. I think these would make some really good pajama pants, and maybe even like a shirt, or do something like a corset, something a little more structured. I feel like that would be like a good option for these. But also, that pillow. Can you tell me you would not want this pillow on your couch? And I love that they have such bold, like jewel tone colors. I'm always into like jewel tone or bright colors. So I like that I had the option of creating whatever I wanted here and making sure that the designs are things that I actually really love. One thing that I think would be a really cool option is having it as a wallpaper. Like, I feel like this design would look really cool as like a backdrop to like a shelf or something like that. So I feel like this would go really good as if you had like an armoire with like glass doors, and then putting that in the back, and then having like your decor pieces placed in front of that. Like, this is, to me, such a beautiful design, and you can use it as an accent or just add it to, you know, something that that's already made. All right. So now let's go back to another design, and so I can show that to you. Now, this one here is kind of close to my heart. The one design that actually like really made me like really want this is seeing it on the sheets. I would love to have this as a sheet set. Okay, it's taking a little while. So they come in basically twin to California king size, and like to me this is just like the perfect sheets, and you get a closer look. And to me, this design was actually something I had made previously for a completely different project. I had this design, the coffin spider web. That was a design that I had a friend make for me last year to add as ornaments to my Christmas tree. Because last year I did do a spooky Christmas. So I created this design, and when I started making the patterns, I was like, this would make a good pattern. But I had a couple of ideas of what I wanted to do with it, and this is one of them. I wanted to go for something a little simple, but had a little bit of an ethnic type of design to it. So I added in these like lines that you can kind of see in these areas, and a dot that was inspired by a fabric that I had found on Pinterest, and I kind of mimicked a little bit of that design. And I liked how it had a little bit more space in between those coffin spider webs, and I wanted to alternate the design so that you could flip it either way whenever you're making something. So I wanted this to be not just one directional type of fabric, like you could do it either the top or the bottom. So with that said, let's go back to some of the other designs. Now, this is another version of that same coffin spiderweb, but I went a little more retro with it, and I used these like brown and orange colors with that teal, and I felt like that just gave this really cool like vintage look. And honestly, I wasn't sure what to do with this design, but I did like this kind of like kaleidoscope type of design. And with that, I just did a solid color as the background. And to me, that it looks so cool. And I like this as an option for the bed. Now, the sizing that I have on this, I don't quite like for the sheets. So I am going to be going back and adding a bigger version of that. That way I can, like, to me, it'll look better on this that way. But of course, pillows. Can we not? This would look amazing on a pillow. So let's go back to one of the other designs. Now this one I had a little bit of fun with, and this one comes in 3 different colors. The third color is different background, but the first 2 are pretty much the same. I just had a little fun with the colors. But this one has a bunch of different like summer desserts on it. So I have the ice cream sandwich coffin, and then I have like the pumpkin jack-o'-lantern banana split thing going on, and then I have the skull like melted ice cream. And this one was just kind of more of a fun thing for me. I was trying out doing multiple colors in the design and creating multiple motifs to add into a single design, and I think it came out pretty good. Now, one thing that gave me so much trouble, which was one of the most simple designs that I had done, was the ice cream sandwich. For some reason, I just could not get the angle right on there, and I kept playing around with it and playing around with it, and I got to a point where I was like, you know what, it's just going to be what it is, and as long as you can tell what it is, that's really all that matters. But I had fun with this, and I have like the bat that is like a chocolate ice cream, and I got inspired by that from a picture of just like a bat hanging upside down, and I was like, That is so cute, and I feel like it would make the perfect like ice cream cone. So I did that, and I did I did 4 different designs, and I just kind of scattered them. This one is kind of directional, so you're gonna have to lay it one way on the fabric. So if you're doing like a dress or something like that, you have to make sure that you're laying those pieces the right way. I am trying to create more designs that don't have that, like one direction that you can use, but sometimes it's kind of hard to remember to do that. But let's go on to the next design. So the next design is what I showed you in my sample fabric. Now this is just like some jewel coffins, and this was one of the very first designs that I made. I was going a little simple, and I wanted to make sure that it was something I liked. And when I finished this, I was I was I always wonder about my designs and if they're going to be good enough for everybody else, but I like this. I like the way it came out, and I like the colors that I choose. They were really bright and vibrant, so they're good for like spring and summer. And when I saw it on the bed, that was the thing that I was like, this looks amazing. Like I'm so excited to like see these mock-ups, and I can't wait to actually like have the physical things so that I can like throw it on my bed and change it out, and then have all of these options of like spooky things to put into my house. And I'm just looking forward to getting samples and also like getting like my own versions of some of these things, or even making some things, because not only would this be good for home decor, but this is also good for doing apparel. So you can have you a pair of pants, a shirt, a cardigan, a skirt, a vest, a jacket, of all of these things. And like you could have yourself a blanket for the couch as well. And it's like I get so much excitement just thinking of all the things that I can make with this. Alright, so now that I have shown you my shop, I hope you guys go and check everything out. Like, I want you to comment on the video here, letting me know some designs you want to see, or some things that you've liked in the past. I want to know what you think of the design so far, and go in there, like the designs in my shop. That way I know which ones are going to be like good. And if you have any projects that you're working on, go buy some of the fabric, see what it looks like, buy samples, try out the fabrics, because it's just like, I'm excited to I'm excited to buy this fabric, so I hope you guys are too. So when it comes to actually buying a fabric, you'll have these as a choice. So you can pick whatever design that you want, and then you have the choice of choosing the fabric that you want. Now, when it comes to choosing the fabric, I would suggest possibly getting, if you're gonna be buying a lot of fabric from here, I would suggest getting one of their sample packs, which they do have that, where you can get all of the samples of fabric, and then they give you examples of what is on that fabric. So like this is their denim, and then you can kind of see all of the colors that they can put on it, and then on the back of that they give you like an example of like what you can use it for and how to care for the fabric as well. So I think that's a great option if you're going to be buying a lot of fabrics from there. That's really good. Now, depending on what project you're working on, there are certain fabrics that just kind of work best with that. When I was making the pillowcases that I did for my bed, I used their Petal Signature Cotton, and I just got a couple of yards of that. I knew I was doing 2 king-size pillows, and I was doing them with that inner flap to kind of hold the pillow in place. And with that, I had did a couple of yards. I think I did 4 yards altogether. I don't remember exactly. It's been so many years. I think I've had those pillows for like 3 years now. Maybe 4, maybe even longer than that. I don't. It's been a while, but that was a good option for those pillows, and they have that as a suggestion for it. So with this fabric, I want it to be a pair of pants. And I've gone through the samples that I got, and I have decided that I want to go with their denim. The other option that I have for the pants would be their lightweight cotton twill. That was like my second option of what I would want to use. But I'm going to start with the denim, and I know I want to make a pair of pants. So I know I need at least 2 yards. I'm going to do 3 because I want to make sure I have enough length to put both pants on there. So I'm just going to be looking for the fabric that I am looking for here. So I'm going to select that as my fabric. Then I'm going to switch it over to yards, and it gives you a little bit of a sample of what that might look like so that you can kind of see how the design will kind of line up. So you want to make sure you pay attention to those lines up there so you can see how big the design is. And if you have like a ruler or something like that on you, you can kind of get a little more of an idea. But you can always get a swatch of everything. So here are the swatches, and then you can do a fat quarter, which just gives you a bigger version of it. But I want to get the yard, and then I want to do 3 yards of that. And then the great thing about this is they show you what the price is going to be. And usually there's some type of discount going on, so you can actually save a little more money. But this gives you an idea of what you want or what you're getting. So with that, you can just add it to your cart, and then you can continue shopping and add more and more stuff in there. Usually if you're like a first-time buyer, they'll have more discounts. Just like right now, you have a spooky savings, save up to 25% on fabric. But yeah, so this is going to be one of my first projects. I also probably want to get 2 yards of just the solid fabric. I do need to add that on there, so I need to go and do that before I make this purchase. But I wanted to give you guys an idea of the process of buying your first fabric. But I'm happy you guys wanted to check out this like video of me just showing off my shop. And this is what I have in there so far, but I am still working on designs and working on things to add in there so you guys can have more to choose from.